I think for most of us, even though we're working on highly simplifying our homes, we still want to make sure birthday celebrations and holidays are special. So if you want to make a cake with me today, I'm going to show you my formula for really meaningful birthdays. When we were growing up, my mom always did such a great job of making our birthdays special. And even though they did not have a lot of money, a lot of extra resources, it was like she knew what would make it special. I remember, I think it was our 18th birthday. So I have a twin sister, Diana. So that was good and bad. There were some birthdays where it was fun. You know, it's fun to have a twin sister and someone else to celebrate with. But sometimes you kind of just wanted your own party and your own cake and not to get the same gifts as her, right? But mostly it was fun. But I think it was our 18th birthday. It landed on the night of a football game, a high school football game. And my sister and I were athletic trainers for the football team. And so we would be down along the sidelines, filling water bottles, taping ankles, whatever needed to be done. And during halftime, my mom had the announcer announce that it was our birthday. And it was equal parts horrifying, but also feeling very honored and special that she would go out of our way for that. I think on our 16th birthday too, she actually went into school and decorated our lockers, which again, it's fun when you're growing up because, you know, as a kid, you mostly wanted people to know it was your birthday and to acknowledge it, right? And so she always did these special things that didn't necessarily require a lot of money, but definitely made it feel like not just another ordinary day. And so now as we've worked on simplifying and decluttering our house, I've been trying to find that balance for myself. How do we make birthdays special and meaningful, feel like not just another day, but also not fill up our house with lots of extra gifts and toys and things that are just gonna break and get discarded, right? So just this past week, we celebrated Gage, our youngest birthday. He turned 9, and I think for all of us, whenever our youngest is getting another year older, I don't know, it makes me a little bit sad, but I do also know that there are just super fun and good seasons to look forward to too. So always bittersweet, right? But I wanna show my cake formula and talk about how we celebrated Gage this past week. So there's 4 different layers to our cake, and the foundation is spending time with friends and family. The next layer is traditions, then gratitude, and yes, gifts are still an important part of birthdays and holidays. So why don't I tell you what the day looks like and how it fit into each of these categories. So for traditions, leading up to Gage's birthday and with all of the kids, we always talk about what kind of birthday cake do they want to have. And so one of the fun traditions in our family is that they get to make their birthday cake and decorate it however they would like. And we've had some really fun cakes over the years, lots of different themes. And so this year, Gage wanted a red velvet cake for his birthday. And so we made that ahead of time and it was on the table. The morning of, we like to do something special for breakfast. And so we got cinnamon rolls and made those. And then also open gifts. So yes, gifts are still an important part of celebrations. But again, I wanna make sure it's just part of it and not the whole hoorah, right? So up until just recently, Tom and I personally didn't get any gifts for our kids because they would get gifts from friends and family, and that was more than enough. We are so fortunate to have a family close by, and so they were well loved by other family members. And I'm so grateful too that those family members they're also always very considerate. They ask what type of gift would they like. Usually it's something consumable and usable. In fact, this year Gage got an Amazon gift card from my parents, which my mom was like, "That's weird, getting a 9-year-old an Amazon gift card." I'm like, I know, but it is what it is. So anyways, Gage had been wanting this little piano, and so we got that for him. And then also Adeline and I, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy because no one would intentionally buy more stuffed animals for their kids, but Adeline and I saw this one at the store, and we were just like, it just made us think of Gage, and we just knew he would really love it. We don't actually have a lot of stuffed animals in our house, which I know is not like most families. I don't know how we've gotten by this far without him. So he did have a couple gifts to open. And then again, spending time with friends and family. We usually have at least 1 to 3 celebrations. They're pretty low key. And so for his day, Gage wanted to go out to eat with my parents. And so we went out to one of his favorite restaurants and got lunch and opened my parents' gift. So we do like to put a lot of emphasis on time together. And sometimes, often, especially when our kids are younger, this just looks like family get-togethers. I strongly dislike birthday parties with friends because I just think they're hard to coordinate, getting the phone numbers of all the parents and texting them, and then when they don't text back, and then you have to text them again and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, maybe you didn't see this message. Like, is your child able to make it to the party?" And just, I don't know. I think planning kids' birthday parties is so stressful. And I know there's some parents who really enjoy it. That is just not generally me, and that's okay. As our two oldest have gotten older, they do like to have friends parties, but so far the boys have not, and that has been awesome. So we do stuff with family, and that's been great. If they get to a point where they ask for a friend's party, yes, of course, we will honor that too. But for now, if they're not asking, I don't push it. And I've also heard from some of you when we've talked like gift ideas and stuff, I love the idea that often you will give your child a budget and say, hey, you can have $100 to spend on your birthday. Do you want to use that on a party? Do you want to use it on something else? Do you want to use it for something with just our immediate family? Because it is really interesting how all of our kids are actually wired quite differently, isn't it? And so I love giving that option. One other idea I've heard of recently that I thought was so smart is called a Fiverr party. And so especially for younger kids, if you do have a friend's birthday party, you can ask each person invited just to bring a $5 bill and tell them that the birthday boy or girl is saving up for something, and then they're going to go shopping with it. And I love that because it just reels in the expectations. We don't end up with lots of extra stuff in our house after birthdays. I could not believe when Adeline, she was our first to start having like friends' birthday parties, I was blown away at the amounts of money being spent on gifts that were given to her. And I was just like, oh no. And then when she would get invited to a friend's birthday party, and I'm like, what is the expectation? Like, how much am I supposed to spend on this? It was just really stressful. And so I love this idea of a Fiverr party where it's like, hey, bring a $5 bill, and it adds up, and our child could still go shopping for something, like one thing that's meaningful to them and that they really like. And I feel like it helps to take stress off of the other parents. All right, then gratitude. So whenever I can show you, so as Gage has gotten birthday gifts and some cards in the mail, we hang on to the envelopes and we sit down and we write out thank you notes. And I know sending thank you notes can be a little bit of a lost art, but I think it's such a great way not only to reflect on the gifts that were given to our child during their birthday, but also to express gratitude for these people in their lives and to be, wow, isn't this so cool? Like how many people love you and wanted to celebrate you on your birthday. And so after the fact, to be able to sit down and to write out some thank you notes, also get to practice writing and all of that too, right? And so we definitely try to do that. So I just hang on to the envelopes. If they receive money or gift cards, I tell them you may not use the money or gift card until a thank you note has been sent. So we try to prioritize that. We're not always perfect at it, but I do really try with that. And then also gratitude and celebrating his birthday with others too. So the night of Gage's birthday, he had a practice for something. So we brought treats for everybody there. And it was just a fun way to get to not only acknowledge that it's his birthday, but get to share with others as well. And so again, I don't think this is always cut or dry. I don't think it's one size fits all. I do think that it is, tailoring it to each of our kids. If you follow the love languages, I do think as our kids start to get older, we can start to tell their love languages too. And I love, with this formula, this layered cake, that really it does encompass all of the love languages, I feel like. And so whether someone's a gifts person or not so much, I'm not a gifts person, as you probably know. So the fact that my mom would go out of her way to do those special things on our birthday really meant so much to me. Where Diana, my twin sister, loves gifts. And so she really enjoyed opening gifts and being celebrated that way. And so I think sometimes it can feel a little flat for some of us, but if we approach it this way, then it really can feel meaningful and our children can feel well celebrated without us having tons and tons of extra toys coming in. So I would love to know, how do you celebrate birthdays in your house? What have you done to not only make them special, but also to keep the gift giving reined in? Again, gifts are not bad. Gifts out of control and cluttering up our house and just lots of way too much money spent on them can be kind of stressful, right? So if you have any ideas down below, no matter what age your kid, especially like how you manage like parties and birthday parties with friends to keep that simple too, that would be really helpful if you share that down below. Oh, and one other thing I did, speaking of gifts, oh man, so Christmas is not that far away, and we did a survey last year and we asked, what is the most stressful part of Christmas for you? And of course, you can guess, it was gifts and budget. Oh my goodness, it is so stressful. And so in a week or so, we are kicking off our 5 days to an organized Christmas. Last year, Diana and I did this together, but she was very close to having baby number 4, so she did not want to commit to that this year. So I'm partnering with Christine from Frugal Fit Mom and Callie from But First Coffee. It is gonna be so much fun. It is completely free. It's 5 days of intentional planning for Christmas, and you are gonna feel so on top of things by the end of that week. So I'll put a link where you can sign up. Again, completely free, but it'd be so fun to see you in there. If you can't join us live, there's always replays available. Lots of other great resources, like just so much fun stuff going on in there. So sign up for that, join us for that, and then you are gonna have a head start to the holiday season as well. All right, I love you. I hope you have a really great weekend, and I'll see you again soon.